Alright everyone, I realize this game has been out for a while on other platforms and I'm late to the party with this video, but this game is so enjoyable that I feel it's still worth talking about. Ashen took the aesthetic and atmosphere of one good game and combined it with the combat and mechanics of an amazing game while also managing to put their own spin on it. Even though there are some parts that aggravate me to no end, the better parts of the game quickly drown them out and make up for it, making me want to play it even more. Anyway, today we are diving into Ashen, developed by A44. From what I could piece together by the storytelling in the beginning, there was a bird called the Ashen, and it was the source of light across all the realms. Due to age and wear, one day the Ashen died, and the world was plunged into darkness, and so grotesque monsters, giant guardians, and greedy humans amassed forces to rule this time of darkness. As the game begins, the man telling the story notices a great light in the distance and states that the Ashen is experiencing a rebirth and will once again light the realms, driving back the darkness, and you're going to help it. Your character is a wanderer who, after being in the darkness for so long and barely surviving, is now able to experience life in a world of light, but needs somewhere to call home. You, your companion Yokel, and the one-armed giant who was telling the story establish a settlement in the area called Vagrant's Rest and decide to build there while taking in anyone in need of shelter. It's up to the wanderer to survive and drive the forces of the dark back to whence they came. The regions in Ashen are sizable and time-consuming to explore on foot, but I'll be damned if they aren't gorgeous. I like to climb to the highest reachable point in each region and just chill for a minute while looking out at all the trees, mountains, wildlife, and shit that wants me dead. Getting around is a small pain in the ass until you get fast travel. Throughout each region you'll find stones. Rest at these stones or just pass by them to replenish your healing and keep yourself ready for the dangers you're guaranteed to come across while you're out and about. As you wander around, with or without a companion, you will encounter a colorful cast of NPCs who know a trade or skill and are also looking for a place to call home. You can recruit them to help out back at Vagrant's Rest, and they will each have a crafting station specific to the items they specialize in. These NPCs also have quest lines that increase their character level for each quest completed, resulting in you unlocking more crafting recipes at their individual workstations. For example, Floke here specializes in lanterns, making your trips through dark and dangerous caves much easier. Completing missions for him unlocks stronger lanterns that burn brighter. Each NPC is instrumental in your survival, so be sure to help them all as frequently as you can. You have a broad range of equipment to utilize during your adventures. In your left hand, you can equip a shield and a lantern. In your right hand, you can equip a one-handed weapon and a two-handed weapon. That'll most likely be a blunt weapon or an axe, since I have yet to see a sword anywhere in this game. You can also equip throwing spears in your right hand. These are great for hunting game or playing smart and picking off enemies from a distance. To get spears, you can find them out in the world or go see Vorsa and make some. Your armors come as singular outfits, each with a level of defense, stun resistance, damage reduction, stamina costs, and stamina regeneration. Obviously, the heavier the armor you equip, the worse off your stamina will be, but the better your defense and stun resistance. If you wear lighter armor, your stamina still gets debuffed, but not nearly as much. The only way to keep your stamina in tip-top shape is to run around butt-ass naked, but that'll get you an express one-way ticket to death. To further increase your stats and even give yourself some extra abilities, you have talismans and relics, courtesy of Amara's workbench. You can equip up to 4 talismans at a time, each costing you 1,000 scoria, the game's currency. These provide bonuses like better healing when a co-op partner is nearby, better stamina regeneration, or better defense. Relics, while you can only equip one at a time, grant you cool abilities and also add a little flair to your outfit. These abilities can be causing explosions when hitting enemies with charge attacks, gaining damage deflection bonuses each time you get hit, and even summoning homing energy shots whenever you damage an enemy. Relics cost 10,000 scoria to equip, and you have to pay that fee each time you switch relics, even if you've already bought one of them before. When you first swing your weapon at an enemy, you'll probably be reminded of a certain series of games, and that's alright since combat in this game generally works the same way. You can swing your weapon blindly until you run out of stamina, most likely resulting in your untimely demise, or you can play it smart and wait for an opening before you let the enemy have it. The bigger the enemy, the more resistant they are to being stunned by your attacks, so keep that in mind when planning your approach. Watch their combos and act accordingly. You'll live longer. Other than the occasional aggravating and avoidable death, Combat definitely feels good and satisfying, even in a game with no blood or gore to show for my efforts. When you get hurt in combat, you'll have a handful of items to help you out, but your main go-to is your Crimson Gourd. This is your best method of healing, as it refills every time you pass by a resting stone or if you find a pot of red sap out in the world. The amount of uses can be upgraded at Yokel's workbench, while the potency of its heals can be increased at Isla's workbench. Word of advice, when you go to see Isla, make sure to grab what's in the barrel. Your other healing item slots can be less potent methods of healing, some crickets that increase stamina regeneration when you heal, and there is a slot for special potions. Special potions and elixirs can be brewed at Siloran's workbench, and they provide a broad range of buffs and debuffs depending on the elixir you craft. If none of these healing options are enough to keep you alive, I would advise upgrading your weapons at Bateran's Forge. Weapon upgrades just require scoria at first, but then you'll need sapient moss, sapient root, and some other items, I'm sure. I haven't gotten that far in the upgrades yet. The scoria cost of each upgrade also increases dramatically each time, so make sure you come with full pockets. Speaking from where I'm currently at in the game, I don't see a way to upgrade shields or armor. You just have to find better ones of each as you're roaming around the regions. Some good news though, rather than finding weapons and having to upgrade them from zero, the further you get in the game, the more upgrades weapons will already have when you find them. I haven't beaten the game yet, so I can't speak on the length. As I said, I'm about 10 hours in, and I feel like I'm just getting started. Exploration is bound to burn up time, since there are item pickups that are plainly visible from dozens of yards away. There's no way you can avoid going to see what those are. What if it's scoria? Or new armor? Maybe a shiny new weapon? You have no idea, so you gotta go find out. The main focus of the game, according to the developer, is building your relationship with the residents of Vagrant's Rest. Honest and skilled people much like yourself who need a place to call home. The only NPC with a real personality though is Isla.
Flokir's full of surprises, but I've been thinking of slipping him one of my own.
Everyone else just sounds like the same gentleman or gentlewoman, just using different words.
The past holds many dark secrets, and many bright treasures. It's up to the likes of you and me to sort the former from the latter.
Bring the right materials to my anvil, and I will improve your weapons. That is the only way you will survive the lands beyond these foothills.
I at least expected the dwarf dressed as a pirate to be loud and belligerent.
Lyra always had a thirst for knowledge that some would call unsavory.
But nope, he's just a good boy, with a peg leg. Ashen has been available for some time on Xbox One and Epic Game Store, but as of December 9th of this year, it is now available on PS4, Nintendo Switch, and Steam for the modest price of $40. But on Steam it's on sale currently for $32 until January 3rd, 2020. Anyway, I'm off to do more adventuring in the ash-covered worlds of Ashen. This has been Cygnus Jason, and I will catch you all on the game side. Later.